you can do your show and tell.
Okay. And then I have another project to finish. So
All
a
right. What are you
UFO to
finishing
finish.
today?
Well, I'll show you in a minute, but it's one that I started. It's the very first thing I started in 2015, but I'll show you when I get
Oh,
done with the
okay.
Tanya Lisa show and tell.
All right. Well, I think it's probably time to start to take care of a 2015 project. Hey, Susan.
Exactly.
Susan got here
Hi,
first.
Susan.
Woo!
Yay, Susan. There ought to be a prize for that. Hi, Teresa.
Teresa
She's
second.
second. Brittany's there.
Hey,
Hello, hello,
Brittany. Hey,
hello.
Becky.
Hop, hop, hop.
She's first and she's having to watch ads. So sorry,
Oh
Susan.
no, Peg's there. Hi, Peg.
Hi, Peg. Welcome,
Julie,
welcome.
Maria.
Still lurking. That's okay, Maria.
Tanya's over
Okay.
there. Is probably still yakking with Jamie. That was fun to have Jamie on. I put a note in the chat that I thought that Jamie should join you guys every now and then just for fun.
Yep. All of you were fun to have join us.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm glad there's at least good music, Susan. She's on
She's
her
on
way.
her
Okay.
way. Oh, she missed her giveaway at the end. Well,
Uh
shoot,
oh.
she can give away on this channel probably.
Yeah, I think she's been doing it once in each stream.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But I didn't think to get stuff together to do that. I meant last night I thought, well, I've got plenty of junk. I can give away lots of stuff. I'll get some stuff together for tomorrow. And then I totally forgot.
Right. Oh,
It's not what.
she didn't get the link.
Oh, well, I sent it to her. Okay. I'll try again.
Try again.
Oh, sorry.
The tab punch the
See?
same as a whale tail. Now that's a very interesting question.
Okay, I'm going to get it. I didn't get up yet. I was trying to find a link and Lisa had forgotten to send me one.
Well, I sent
Oh,
it, but it didn't go all the way through. It was like hanging in limbo land or something. I don't know. It was
yeah.
weird.
Okay.
Because I sent it the same time I sent one to Barbara, but
Barbara, yeah, it's stuck there somewhere. So
it was not, it didn't, it wanted to make you beg, I guess. I don't know.
I guess it just didn't want me to play on this thing with you or show this whale tail punch.
Is a
Okay.
tab punch the same as a whale tail? Let me
No,
make you big, Tanya, for just a second.
no. Um, but they do make um like Jamie was saying earlier. I just recently saw on um Amazon and on Timo's got one on, but I don't know how good Timo's is. One of the European ladies had gotten two sizes of this punch. This one is different than theirs. This one punches the whole piece. The new one, you have to fold your piece in half and then it
Mm.
punches it. So there is the issue that if the cardstock you're using is too heavy, it might not punch all the way through. So I don't know how good it
Mm.
is because I don't have one. But this is a Stampin' Up! Punch, and as you can see, it basically what they're saying is it looks like a whale's tail.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, the tail of a whale or a mermaid or whatever. And this one punches the whole thing. So you punch it. Just so you know, this is the first time I've used it. I got it because I was really excited about getting it. And then you fold it in half.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And then it goes, just a minute, I'll find a little piece of paper. There's a piece of paper. It goes on the edge of your paper just like that.
Yes.
And you have this
Lovely.
cute little tab. So it is
That
a tab, but it's not the same as the tab punch. My tab punch looks like this. It's a big We Are Memory Keepers
okay.
base punch. And
Yeah.
I actually
You need
used
that, buddy.
that.
You don't need that.
I'm
pretty sure.
To just a minute. I used it to make this tab on the top of this tag.
He understands his
Well,
own name means no.
The thing about this is
He
that
gave me all the bag and I looked at
it's
it.
there again, this thing will cut in the top, and I have actually cut folded ones on a strip. But it's not the same shape, and it doesn't go on quite the same way, and it does not really like to cut it folded. It's the cutter doesn't like heavy cardstock that's folded in half. So it as long as the cardstock's lighter weight, it works real well. It's been on my my bucket list of finds at the thrift store for ages, because they want $60 to $100 for this punch.
Egad.
Yeah, I see no reason. And my big thing was, why hasn't somebody come out with another one?
Really?
It just makes no sense to me that they couldn't. But now, like I said, on the new one, what you have to do is you have to fold your paper and you slide it in and it cuts it folded. And that's my understanding on how it works, only from watching a YouTube video. So I haven't had it in my hands. And if this cardstock is very heavy, it's not going to punch too. So what? Yes, Susan. This punch right here, online on eBay, goes from $60 to $100, which is ridiculous.
Lord.
It is totally
Hell, you
ridiculous.
could draw. You could draw one of those.
Right. And this tab punch you can get, reasonably. It's a little more complicated to cut tabs with it. But I don't know what Jamie paid for hers. If she's when she gets in here, we'll ask. But I did see them. I did see them online on Amazon here recently, because after I watched that YouTube video, I went and looked for it on Amazon to find out how much it was, or one similar was, to see, I'm not going to order one because I now have one that I got for $4. Your tab punch is different. It's like a regular hand punch. Oh, is it the tab punch that came from Hobby Lobby had one that was called a tab punch that I think came from We Are Memory Keepers, and I didn't like the way it worked. I bought it and took it back, actually. I don't know. It cut the tab different than I just didn't really like how that's. Yes, that's what you have. And maybe, Brittany, you could. Oh, Lisa, you want to take me down? Maybe you could post some pictures in group of what it looks like when you punch it. I would appreciate that. We Are and EK sell tab punches, and they are die tabs too. Hi, Peg.
Sorry, I forgot we were.
Okay,
I
Julie
muted
says.
because we were having dog noises, but
Okay, Julie says she sees one of these on Etsy for $257. Now there's just no way. Mm-mm. I have to tell you, when we were in Alabama a year or so ago, I had gone thrift store shopping with my friend that I go thrift store shopping with in Alabama, and I had told her about this punch that I was looking for, and kind of drew her a shape and told her if she ever saw one to make sure she bought it for me, I'd pay her back. $257. It needs a motor. Yeah, it needs a hand to come with it to squeeze it. Anyways, she got online because she was going to buy it as a present for me and realized how much it was. It's like, no.
Forget that.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. So,
okay, you want to make me bigger, and I'll show off this messy stack of treasures.
sure.
yeah.
So since it's the birthday party for the stream, I collected all the things, not that many actually, that I have been inspired to make thanks to Tanya and Lisa. So I'm going to just look at them real quick. So this was the earliest one. This was the crunchy book that we made. The date on this I had to find an old photograph, is 7/2019. So this was that little book. Well, I've got to get these things out of the way. Anyway, they're tags that I had inspired by Tanya McGuire. Oh, here, 6/25/19. Abandoned wall book. That's what that is.
Yes, that's the abandoned wall book. That's what that
is. That's the abandoned wall book. Good. Well, I have a coupon.
I don't think Lisa played with me on doing that.
Oh, okay. Was that just you? Yeah, it doesn't have you on here, but it has recycled parts for art on here. Zoom. And on the back of that, I say, write your representative.
Oh, that's because that was a Zoom class I was the instructor for.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, there Jamie's here. Jamie, do you have an idea of how much your new punch cost? We were just discussing it, but that's because that particular project was one like that. She asked me if I would teach something, and now I think I did a video too, but then I did a video class on it in Zoom.
Tanya, I bet that's where I met you then.
That very well could be. Remember we were doing the Zoom classes and
no.
Well,
so this was in a book or something. Where was this? It's different pictures of moms, and Gandhi's mom says, "Can't you just sit quietly and behave?"
Jamie says it was about $14.40. So that's not a bad price for one of those punches instead of $257.
Really, $14.40. Mm-hmm. And so this mom picture says, it's Freud's mom, and it says, "Don't be ridiculous. Why would your sister be jealous of you?" So that was in July of 2019. And then the next thing I got.
Okay, I was just going to say, I wanted to show you what our first crunchy book really was, and maybe it'll help you remember which one you did.
Yeah, okay, just a minute. Oh, you have to change yourself. You have to change us, Lisa.
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we?
This was our first crunchy book. It was made out of playing cards or some kind. And it had
I used scoop boxes.
Windows and
Yes.
This was our first crunchy book. And I don't have a date in here anywhere.
Yeah.
But and then we
Of course
did
not.
this is one we did together, isn't it?
Yes, and it's
Yes.
it's a
This was
crunch.
another
It's
our
on.
other crunchy book.
That's our other crunchy book, and that was
I
that
love
was our.
that book, Lisa.
I don't
And
have a date for this one either.
okay, you did that after I did. Okay, after I did this, I did an art journal where I had made those kind of weird flowers with my jelly plate.
Yeah.
And then we did that crunchy book, and you wanted to do something like my weird flowers in
Yeah.
your crunchy book.
Right. And
And
you did something different in yours.
yeah, I did something different. I don't remember what I did in mine.
But there were
But
windows, just
Mhm.
like in the other one. So we were doing a completely different book, but using the same premise as our first one, kind of.
Right.
Lisa,
pretty
I
much.
love that one. I
Thanks.
love
Yeah.
that one.
So that
That's
was
wonderful.
the. I don't know whether we hi Diane. I don't know whether we called it crispy crunchy book or just what, but that was
Well,
the.
my next experience of Tanya and Lisa was when Tanya sent this out in November of 2019.
Yeah.
Her first little book, and she sent 72 books out, I think, right?
Yeah, 70 something. I sent out to my different subscribers that asked for one.
And then this
And
was
that's-
also inspired by you when we did Carve December that year. That stamp. So this is my
And-
first little book. And now, I mean, talk about an idea whose time has come.
Yeah.
I'm on my number 5th book.
And that's because Barbara does 2-page spreads. I do 1 page at a time, and I'm gone a lot, so I haven't made that many books.
Goodness.
I think I'm on my 3rd book is what I'm on, but and I haven't sent out any more books because after the experience of sending out 75, I decided they all could make their own, so I showed them how to make their own.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Right. And on Sundays, I do 1 page, and I call it my trash on my desk book, because I pick up whatever little pieces of trash you can't see on my, but whatever little pieces of trash are on my desk, I pick those up and I make a page from it.
That's what she calls hers, and I call mine my weekly meditation book. So mine tends to be a little bit more reflective. And oh, Teresa, you can make journals. Anyway, so I make these little signatures, and then I jelly print because I like to go, as she said, across 2 pages.
Yeah.
So this was my Happy New Year one to my favorite badass chicks.
Yeah, I loved that one.
So this is between the signatures, but I've done this whole thing, and I've just jelly printed the whole book. Like so.
And Teresa, I'm sure you could make a journal. I mean, really, all you have to do is
make one
paper.
of these.
Yeah,
we can. This is when Tanya came back home. Tanya, I'm back.
And notice all my shopping bags. She knew.
Notice all your shopping bags, and notice your RV in the background.
Yeah. That's the RV. Yeah.
So yeah, this is my current little book. Anyway, so then it was 2020 and COVID was happening, and Tanya was pulling out her folio, and I said, oh, I've got to have one of those. And she had already made a video, so I learned how to make a folio from Tanya's video. So I was going to use this as a big planner and everything, and I'm not. I put quotes in it, and now I keep track of my videos in it.
There you go.
So that's basically how I'm using it. I stick notes in it.
It's a planner of sorts.
Well,
right?
except yeah, I don't use it that way exactly. I
Yeah.
I did start doing, you created one of these little things to track your videos. So I kind of copied that
Yeah.
idea and got the stuff on it that I need to
Well, and I
track my
found it didn't work at
videos.
all for me. It didn't work at all for me.
Oh,
So,
it didn't? No, I do.
no.
They're on sheets of paper and I can just print off a sheet of them and then cut it
Mhm.
up and then glue it in here in my book.
I
That's
have I have switched to using index cards, and I don't know that it's going to work because nothing I've done has really worked that well. So I get started, but
and
I
then
don't
the
like them and I throw them out. Oh heavens, just paint on it. Teresa, the dollar store has books and glue is cheap. There you go. Mhm.
Then the other thing we did in June and July of 2020 was a fairy book. So
Mhm.
this was my fairy book, and I made it. It's 2 signatures in like this, and the signatures are made out of paper bags, and the pages of the signatures are 2 jelly prints glued back to back. And then we did a bunch of tags. I made tags to go in all these pockets because the pockets were, too floppy. So I've got
Mhm.
tags in all the pockets. Anyway, so that's my fairy book. And that's kind of a folio like Tanya made too.
Yeah, we used two. I think we used 2 book covers or something for that. I can't remember what we did. Um,
Yeah.
it was a very involved project. We worked on it for quite a while.
We did for 2 months. Yeah, and both of your
Yeah.
streams for 2 months. It was totally a lot of fun. And a lot of the things I have in here are little things from Teresa. She sent little
Yeah.
die cut things.
Mhm.
So that was fun. And I use those what do you call it? Cicely Mary Tyson
Yes.
fairy
And
prints.
we both of us had a book like that we had found. I got mine at the library store, and I don't know where Lisa had gotten hers.
I thought I sent you yours, and I got 2 the same, but maybe not. Maybe that was something else.
Not the actual book, because your book and my book were slightly different in how they were laid out. Um,
Okay.
you sent me half of your coloring book and half of a pop-up book.
Okay.
And I found some things. I can't remember what it was. I found 2 or 3 things where I either bought 2 books or because they were real cheap, or we sent half back and forth. Mindy sent us some postcards. Teresa sent us some die cuts. I can't remember what else.
We used some die
This was a
cuts that I
great.
bought from Heather,
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
Peg
And
likes
you
that.
sent,
That's good. This was my Guy Fieri page. So you all know this guy, don't you? Guy Fieri. He's a cook or
mhm.
something, chef.
yeah.
Mhm.
So this is my Guy
Isn't
Fieri
isn't he
page.
from your town?
He is.
Yeah.
He's from my town. Anyway, so that's my fairy book. Anyway, I was going to show you quickly what I'm doing today, and then you can take the camera off me. This is a finishing a project that I started. This was my very first junk journal, probably inspired by Shannon Green or Peg Robinson. I can't remember who. So it's good that Peg's in here. I can blame her. So, you get these calendars in the mail from the
Mhm.
disabled vets or something. Anyway, that's what this is. And I took it apart and I made it into 2 signatures and made the spine a little bigger. You know how you do. And I'm calling it my twins journal. So I've done this all the way through it. So I've taken an image that I liked, and then I reproduced the image and kind of Zentangled it in black and white.
Oh, how fun.
And so this is enter at your own risk. So,
That is
you know,
really
I just
cool.
isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun. I like it a lot. I am woman, hear me roar. So this is a totally unpublished, unfinished. This was started in July and August of 2015.
That's really cool.
It is fun. And here I've got a guy in here too. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. This one is the only page I've done since 2015. I did in April 21. I decided I really need to finish this book, and so I'm going to finish it the rest of this stream. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah. So this is
That is awesome.
cute.
Very cool.
It is fun. So I've got this page, and I've got my stuff all ready. I did that yesterday during your stream. I got all this stuff ready. So I've got to fussy cut a little bit more and glue some stuff down. So those are my basic things for finishing this book. And that's what I'm going to do now. And you can take me off the center. Susan, It's been a fun book to do.
Mm-hmm.
What's the disclaimer at every stream we do?
Enter at your own risk.
Enter at your own risk.
Enter at your own risk.
And on our last section, I forgot to do my giveaway, so I'm going to do it now.
All right.
And then I'll do another one at the end of the thing. So we are going to do giveaways of one of our birthday embossing folders, and I have a little second prize little notebook because it's cute. So how many people are in here, Lisa?
27.
Okay, so we're going to do between 1 and 75. As soon as I type start, let's see here, START. There we go. Oh, no, I've got caps lock on. So please choose a number between 1 and 75.
I'm going to mute and go get me some more tea while you're giving the giveaway.
Okay, that sounds good. But go ahead and get numbers, guys. Okay,
getting all these books off my desk.
I need to make this more. What do we want to make this more? We want to make it more. That's not going to work. It is not going to work. I was going to use this to make oh no, I can put it this way. I'm going to use these to make envelopes, but I need to make it more messy. So we're going to see what it makes messy. I always post a number the same time as someone else, and it's always one away from their number. Well, you have to be the closest without going over, Brittany. So, you know, oh, that's way too dark, I think. All right, let's see what happens if we spray it. Don't like that at all. No, don't like that. Okay. No, okay, that didn't work. We'll lay it over there. We can do something else with it another day. Okay, guys, come on. Let's get the numbers in. Numbers. Couple more minutes. Oh, and by the way, I will be taking it out of its packaging. I found out the last time I sent these out, the envelope doesn't hold the packaging good. So I just took it out of the packaging. It really doesn't have any information on it at all. And then it fits in the envelope better. So just FYI, that's what I'll be doing. Okay, I think we're about done. Let me press stop. STOP. All right. Okay, what is the number going to be? What is the number going to be? 27. Susan has 27 for Diane.
For Diane. Oh, cool.
Oh, but Diane won one last night. Okay, so how about Diane, do you want two of them, really? Or shall I send you the second prize and give the other prize to the next person? How about that?
That sounds like what you should do.
I think that's what I should do.
She put in 17 too. She might be the next one. What's your number again?
27.
27.
Okay, she says to give it to someone else. Yeah, Miss Bessie Pallet is Diane. And I will send Diane the second one, but who? And so
Sherry Having at 6 might be the next one.
It might be It might be Sherry. I think that would be Sherry. Okay, is that all right with you guys? I hope it's all right with you guys.
Okay with me. I must count. My vote's got to count, right?
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to send her the note. I'll send Diane the notebook and Sherry. They're just swapping things because Sherry won a notepad last night.
So now they both get both.
They both get both. Sherry, make sure to send me your address. I don't know if I got one already. Please and thank you. Okay, we're going to try that again because that was just very ugly the way it came out. So we'll just try doing a little different kind of thing. Kind of to make the inky, messy thing that I want happening on these papers.
Okay. I've got a few things that I need to stick in my everything book, and so that's what I'm going to do now. Get that caught up. These are Hannah made me printed me out copies of the things that she made stickers of.
Oh, how cool.
Oh, those are cool.
So that didn't work very well. I didn't get enough. One is too much.
You're just not going to be happy right now, are you?
No, apparently not. It's apparently not working today. So
these are some art thingies that I made. Well, that's, yeah. Those I don't think need to go in here.
You're welcome, Sherry.
Those need to go into a journal. I'll put it in that one.
Okay, now let's see if we can. grungy this down some. I mean, really? We can't grungy it up at all? Okay. Yeah, that's gonna work. I should have just taken some coffee dyed paper and done it, except that now it's all wet. And I got to get it dry before I can use it. Oh, yeah. And I got to do 2 more.
Okay, where did it go? Oh, right here.
Tanya, I put the ink down, spray water in it. Too much, move it around with my finger for a quick tap with the paper. Yeah, I didn't put enough ink down the first time, and I just didn't get really what I wanted. This is actually way better. It's just not quite enough, so I'll just do another little bit. And I also wanted the edges inked up a little more, so I can always ink the edges after the fact, but I wanted it to kind of draw up a little bit. So the splashy stuff, yeah, there we go. See, that makes me much happier.
Yes.
It's gonna grungy up real nice, and this ink is really interesting in that it'll kind of dry from the edges out sometimes. That makes it kind of cool. So and I just really wanted to grungy it up kind of a little bit. Oh, don't worry about a typo in my name. Heavens, don't worry about that. That is so not something to worry about in my house.
Okay. I'm ready to glue. Glue.
Oh, she's ready to glue. She knows what she wants to do with it.
I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
These are both going to go over the fold.
Yeah, there we go. Now they just have to get dry. So we'll lay them over there, let them get dry. Well, my typing skills are maybe not quite as bad as my spelling skills are, Julie. So, I got through college by having boyfriends, right? Ones that could type. That was the deal.
That was a requirement. You want to be
That was a requirement.
How good do you type?
Very good.
That was a requirement in their test. I honestly didn't have that many papers to. There weren't that many papers in my college education. There was more portfolios than anything. I had 2 or 3 English classes, that I had to pass, but. Okay, the next thing is going to be the covers. And see, I have these beautiful little covers already, but excuse me.
Oh. You want to go to the movies? Can you type?
Can you type? Yep. There was also the do you drive a motorcycle? Can you type? Yep.
That was your criterion for a boyfriend back when?
Not really, but a few of them like that, yeah. Do you know how to drive a 4-wheel vehicle? Can you use a stick shift? Not really. Okay, now that's not all of these. Where are the rest of them? They must be in here. Oh, there's something on the floor. There's some more.
It's kind of creepy to have an eye sitting there looking at you, but it's even worse to have it upside down.
Okay.
If it's gonna sit there and look at me, I'm at least gonna have it right side up.
Right side up. Okay.
Susan says, now I'm wondering how good Jeffrey can type. He even got to marry her.
Yeah. Jeffrey can type and he can keyboard and he's pretty good at it. But by the time I met Jeffrey, I had gotten through all that kind of stuff. So I don't know that I ever had him type anything.
Except our YouTube name list.
Yes, he does. He does do our YouTube name list, and that is because he is so much faster at it than I am.
That's lovely.
The boy is very much faster. Plus, he knows how he has it in a spreadsheet, and I lost my ability to make spreadsheets a couple of computers ago because I lost the software. And when he retired, he ended up with a thing from the government that allows him to get the updates on some of that software.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I don't know if he still has it, but for a long time he did. But now Jeffrey's claim to fame is that he was my fiance's friend.
Oh, how fun. Okay.
Yeah.
One of those stories.
Yes, one of those stories. Okay, so when I did these, back when Lisa and I were working on this stuff, and it's something stuck to it. It got bubbles on it. See back there? So I have to sand the bubbles off, which is not going to be fun. And did I get paint on there or just
you dog, Tanya?
Yeah. Well, he hadn't been my fiance for a very long time before I went out with Jeff, but it had been a year or better since I dodged that bullet.
Well, we're all glad you dodged that bullet.
Yeah, me too.
I bet Jeff's glad too.
I think he is. I don't think he's done with me yet, so. Anyways, when I did the resin on these, it dripped over the edge, but it didn't drip off. So now I have little bumps that if I'm going to glue it down to the covers, that these have to be cleaned up on the back. And I thought these would be cute. Some of them are, one or two of them on my covers to give it, you know, just a little bit more something on here. So,
Did you see Julie's thing about the hole punch?
okay, no, what? Probably
She
trying to
says,
make
Tanya, with those, is it easy to punch a hole in them, or should I put the hole in something when I put the shiny stuff on it?
Oh, on these resin things? Ooh, I don't know if you could put a hole through this resin without.
A lot of the resin modeling things or whatever that you pour the resin in have holes built
Have
in.
holes already in them, and my well, I'll tell you what, let's try it on this little bird. Okay, this little bird is I'll give him up for
science.
For science, yes. But what I'm going to use to try to punch him is going to be my jewelry tool, because I have a feeling a standard hole punch is not going to go through there.
Diane says a crocodile will punch a hole in resin.
A crocodile will? Okay, so we will try the crocodile, because that's more the more what everybody else will have than that jewelry punch. And let's see where my punch is getting ready to be.
I need some words.
Okay, let's see here. Come here. Oh, that punched a really nice hole. Oh, just a minute. Let me bring in the. Let me fix the.
Here,
thing.
let me make you big.
Okay. But I also want to fix the focus. So where's that little spot? There we go. Autofocus. There we go. It punched a pretty nice clean hole.
It sure did. I'm impressed.
Now, is that cracked right there though? Okay, it did crack the resin just a little bit right there. See that little crack right down there? It did crack the resin just a little bit.
Well, I was really surprised because I mean, I thought it would have cracked it worse than that. So
yeah, me too. Now that's a pretty good big hole on a small space. This is a much smaller hole. For science, we will try it with this. We will punch another hole in it. Okay, and this is a smaller hole, and it didn't crack the resin quite as much. So, in answer to the question, I would be afraid that if you punch the hole first, that the resin would fill up the hole.
Peg has a good idea. She says you can glue a jewelry finding to the back and not use a hole.
Then that's what I would do. Either that or glue a paper with a paper clip behind it, you know, between it, so the paper clip sticks out. But a jewelry finding would be, you could easily glue a large jump ring on, or I mean, I can think of tons of jewelry findings that would work, and then you wouldn't have to punch a hole. So that to me would be the wiser choice. Okay, this is going to take forever using sandpaper. be right back.
Get the drill.
That's what I'm thinking.
Power tools. We likes our power tools.
This is one of my favorite tools of all time that I've bought myself.
There you go.
The reason being, I used to, there was another one prior to this one that when I found out they weren't going to have them anymore, I bought 4 or 5 off of eBay. That were rechargeable batteries. Well, then they all finally died. Hello, Jacqueline.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Hey there. Hi.
Okay, Jacqueline says wait. Okay.
Why is she saying wait? She's about to knock on your front door.
Did I totally miss part of the stream-a-thon? Yes, we've been on since 8 o'clock this morning.
And we were on all day yesterday.
Yeah, and all day. Jacqueline was here yesterday.
Well, that's what I thought.
Lisa,
but when
you
she asked that question, I thought maybe I was wrong.
Yeah. Yes, but only 6 hours of it. Do you want to make me smaller again?
Okay.
Okay, but anyways, this tool is this one is lithium, and it's really nice. But so many of the Dremels are too big for my hand, and I use this. No, we did not go overnight. We're doing 2 12-hour sessions. Blah, 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 because Lisa and I decided after last time we couldn't do an overnight. We just couldn't. Our bodies won't let us.
I'm so glad you decided that.
Yeah. Anyways, I use this to clean beads, so I use it like I used to use it 2 and 3 times a day, and now I don't use it that often, but I keep it in the lithium battery. I've had this since before we left South Dakota, so it's pretty good, and I love this one, and it's rechargeable. It just sits in a base. So I am going to mute because I don't think y'all want to listen to this.
Yeah, Jacqueline, we're just going back and forth between my channel and Tanya's channel yesterday and today. That's the way we usually do it, and then we have other people come on with us. It's easier to only do 2 channels instead of trying to jump to a bunch of channels. Okay, that's not going to work. There we go. Lurking and working. Okay. That's understandable. Absolutely understandable.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be here until 5, and then we'll go back to Tanya's channel for the last 3 hours.
All right. That looks good on there. All right. What do you think? I say it's finished.
It looks good to me. I like it.
I think it's awesome.
I'm going to date it.
Okay, so that worked really, really well, guys.
Yay, look at that.
Yeah, it took that bubble right off of there. Now, it's kind of messy. So I think I'm going to go get a paper towel that I can put damp, wet on. You know, put it down wet so that it doesn't go everywhere. And honestly, after all the discussion this morning, I think I need a dust mask. So yes. I gotta go get something, and I'll be back.
All righty.
Because I don't think I really want to breathe this stuff.
No, I don't think you do.
Yeah. So.
I need colored paper to see if this is working. There, it's working. Okay, today is January 6th.
Wow.
How about that? So I started this in 2015 and I'm going to finish it today. Thank you, Peg. You know, I've showed this to Vicki before, Vicki Brown, but I've never showed this book to anybody other than one time when we were all on a Zoom call or something. And she wanted me to post it. And I said, okay, I'm going to post it when I get finished. So today I'm going to get finished. So then I'll do a little video on it probably, and I'll post a link to that.
Yes, do a video. That's a good idea.
But I really love this book. A Year to Remember, 2015 and 2016.
Transported into
I remember.
2024.
I know.
Okay. Yay. That's done.
It's pretty lovely.
I don't think
Thank you, Linda.
finished.
Hi, Linda Reds. How are you?
Anything else until this? Hey, Linda.
In the
Glad
balcony.
you're here.
Tim
You're
is
in the
here.
balcony.
So Tim is recovering good, eh? I hear.
Okay, I need about 10 more of these days. Not right now, but to work on stuff like this.
You know, I think this is my only unfinished project.
I'm proud of you. Can I be you when I grow up?
Well, I tell you what, I'm too afraid of amassing things. So that's one reason why I don't have a wonderful crunchy book like your crunchy book. Oh my God. Yes, Susan, you can see things more than one way. Yeah, I like this one. On this one, I really kind of did what I wanted to do, all the little tangly stuff. I didn't totally accomplish that. I mean, this one could use a lot more tangles, but you know, I think the simplicity sometimes is just fine.
Yeah, if you were going to tangle anywhere else, I would do it in the hair.
Right.
That would be the only place I think it, might be beneficial to add something.
Yeah, that'd be good to add something. But I don't want to mess with faces. So Linda says Tim is walking on his own without a walker. He's a miracle
Wonderful.
man. I am so glad.
Wonderful.
I'm so glad. I like this quote. The work of the hands is a gift from the heart.
That is true.
August 2015. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. These all have little sparkles on his collar. I could definitely do more tangling in there if I were of a mind to. My thought is it could be just time to wrap it.
Okay, I'm going to see if anybody even remembers this book. It's been so long since I pulled it out to do anything.
Make yourself big.
Okay. You remember my Bentley Girls book?
I think I do.
These are the Bentley Girls. I inherited some photos of them, and these photos all came from the Bentley family. Now, I don't know if this is one of those girls when she's older, or if this is their grandma, or I don't know. But
cool.
But I haven't done very many pages in here. Here's some I got some paperwork, some family records and stuff when I got the pictures. And so I just tucked that right there. And I decided not to do anything to it, just leave it like that. But I've got all these pages. And the reason I haven't worked in here is because I made this journal so long ago and I never really liked the pages. I didn't like, I was
Oh,
following somebody else's plan and I didn't like all the gessoing on it.
mm,
And I, and I liked the sewing. I liked a lot of it, but other things I didn't like.
Half an hour, 45 minutes.
Um, anyway, these, so I just did very few things, actual pages in here. Now, pockets and things I put in when I built the journal, but like that ruffle, I put that in when I built the journal. But I think I'm now at a place where I can work in this and enjoy covering up the mess. And it was
yeah.
like Teresa saying she couldn't make a journal. She didn't like any of the journals she made. This is one I made I hated. And
Oh,
what I hated the most was that I loved the cover.
oh,
I loved the cover. And but I didn't like the signatures. But I had done a few pages in it, so I didn't want to dump it like
right.
that. That's one of the Bentley girls' pictures. I didn't want to dump it, and so I just put it aside. And I have a whole bunch of photos. I'm gonna put, we're gonna give them some extra family members, and I'm gonna go ahead and that's one thing I want to work on this year. And I left these really long so I could add something to them at the end if I wanted to, but I didn't want it to be in the way because it's so far down on the back of the book, you can't really get it out of the way like if it was up here.
Yeah,
So I'm just
right.
leaving it like that for now, but that's why it just has those hanging off. Anyway, I thought that we just start and do a page
Yeah, there's a
somewhere in
lot of
here.
white to cover up. Do you
There's a
ever
lot of
use
white to
your
cover
five
up.
by? Do you ever use your little jelly plates as a stamp?
I have a few times, but not often. But that's actually would be a great thing to do in here.
That could be a lot of fun.
I'm having trouble
Susan's going
hearing.
to
I
the
need to
balcony to lie down. Everybody scoot over and give me some room.
scoot over, everybody. Susan needs a break. Um, I do have a little 3x5 jelly plate that I think is out in the studio.
Well, I was
Um,
thinking the little square one you were just using. You've got some spaces on
well,
there
it's
that would make a
big
little
though. It's six
square.
by six,
Oh, okay.
and I think it's really too big to be able to easily dump over.
Yeah.
Like the little one. But even if I just rolled paint on there and then pressed it just to get color on here, you know, I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't
Just
decide
to get
if it's
color on
better to
there.
do that or just to
Absolutely.
go ahead and start with each page. I made
Yeah.
some of the. I mean, this was a junk journal made out of trash and stuff,
Right.
and I like those, but I wasn't very happy with this.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, um,
I think
I
that could
just
be a
need
lot
to,
of fun to play in and just see what you do.
yeah, and I've done a little bit in it, but not a ton. And that's a very crooked envelope.
I'm back. I took the time. Hi, Linda. I took the time to put some dinner in the crock pot and
That's a good idea.
Give Jeff instructions on what he needed to do to finish it up. And well, it's just a matter. The meat was in the freezer, so he just has to cut it up and put it in there. Um, but
I like your stitching, Lisa.
I did hear Lisa say that she needed about 10 more of these days.
Yeah.
How about if we just do one 12-hour day instead of two?
Sounds good.
When do you want to do
Okay.
that?
Um, Can we wait until I look at my calendar? Like,
Yeah, because I've got a lot of stuff on my calendar now that I didn't have it 3 days ago. So
right,
it'll be good
right,
to talk about it later.
right. We'll have a talk about it, but maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, and then do another couple before I have to leave off on my next trip.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Not doing 2 days, doing just one day means that give us more time in a week.
Yeah. Saturdays would be best for me if you can do it because then Hannah can take care of the dog.
Well, and most
But
Saturdays don't matter to Jeff, so I'll double check and see which ones, what we might be able to do and see, because we don't really do anything special on Saturdays. It's just it's just another day of the week when you're retired.
yeah.
So okay, I'm gonna mute a little bit. I got a dust mask. Jeff had to go out and get it. That's another thing that took so long. But I got a wet rag to help keep this mess in place. So, but I'm gonna
Okay.
mute to
I think I'm going to work on this page right here. All right. I'm going to go back down to small, but I just wanted to let y'all have an idea of what I was.
I think that'll be
trying
a
to work
fun
on.
challenge, Lisa. See what you can do on that page that'll make you love it again.
I have a little bit of wallpaper. I have a lot of wallpaper. I just can't get to any of it right now.
Hey, Sharon Marlowe.
Hi, Sharon.
We've installed a
Welcome,
snack
welcome.
bar in the balcony so we can enjoy lurking and working. Watching. Do you have cookies up there? Hello, Sharon Lombard. Look, the two Sharons are here. What have y'all been doing?
We're glad
Oh,
y'all are here.
Peg's got to get up and move.
All right. Have fun, Peg.
I'm glad you stopped by, Peg.
Okay. I think I want to incorporate that. That's pretty.
So do you all know what croquis are?
I don't.
Croquis are little figure drawings that you can get on the internet if you just look up croquis, CROQUI. It's a little, you can get just little drawing figures. So I got a bunch on my iPad. So when I went to the croquis place where it's got all kinds of images for croquis, you can look for chubby women. So I looked for chubby women images that I could draw from because I'm not much of a drawer. And that's how these ladies came to be. These are both from croquis.
Okay.
And I just love them. I think they're great.
Oh, popcorn in the balcony. I would like some
Popcorn.
I need to tell my daughter, make some popcorn.
Yeah, good idea there.
I'm going to see. This is all the stuff that came with the Bentley pictures. So I'm going to
cool. There you go.
Refresh my mind on this stuff and see what I can use.
Can you see this little strip on here, Lisa?
Let me make
this
you
is
bigger
from
though, so we can see it better.
A 90-something-year-old artist here locally named Joan Gold. She's one of my heroes.
Are those
her art.
things you reduced to that size, or?
No, it was a postcard for one of her shows that
okay.
just had a bunch of these little images on it. Like this was like a part of a whole postcard. Here, I'll take this picture off my wall and show
Brittany,
you.
I hope your team wins.
This is her work that I have hanging up over my desk.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's splattered with red paint, right? Why is it that when you splatter with red, it gets up on the wall? That's
it's obvious.
That's from when I splattered right here on my desk. Anyway, Joan Gold, 2010. So she just does wild color things. She does jelly printing. Her studio sales are so fun because you can pick up little pieces of scraps from her. So I pick up some of her scraps when I came. Anyway, that's one of my art heroes. And that's the new page I just did.
Ah, very nice.
That's not going to glue down. That is not going to glue down. Let's see what I can do about that. Paint splatter. Yes, Julie, paint splatter. Why is it the red paint really went a long way? Okay, let's see if I can get this down. Oh, the wind. Oh, my goodness. Here is the wind.
Okay. This is the sale of property.
Oh.
From the Bentley family, specifically W.E. Bentley, to T.F. Shirley and Berta Shirley, his wife.
Oh.
When was this? Let's see. 21st day of February, 1938. It says the sum of $25 paid in hand by W.E. Bentley. Oh, he bought it. I thought he sold it. $25 cash, receipt of which is acknowledged. Have granted, sold, and conveyed. Anyway, they sold. This is what he bought for $25. Lots 7 and 8 in Block 6 in Bentley's addition to the town of Magic City, Texas, being part of the Southeast 1/4 Survey 42 Block 24. Okay, I didn't know there was a Magic City, Texas.
I didn't either.
It's in Gray County, and well, this was witnessed in Gray County and Pampa, so it would be up in this area, but I've never heard of Magic City. I'm gonna have to look it up and see if there is one anymore. Maybe there's not one anymore. Anyway, interesting. Tanya, Linda wants to know what you're working on. Oh, she's being quiet.
She's muted right now.
I'm muted, but I can hear you. I can hear you. So if you want to make me big, I'll show you.
All righty, I will.
But let me take the mask off so you can understand me. Back when Lisa and I were working on this project, I had some really old,
specifically,
yeah, it's a Christmas book, and I had some really old. I thought I had the package right here. They were little kits. Here it is. Just a minute. I mean, these were so old that they came from TG&Y, I think is what it was. TG&Y. And I had gotten them on clearance when the store was closing. And what they were was you cut the little design out and then you resined them. They were in little resin packages with an A and a B, and you mix the resin together and then you put it on the little thingies. And so I cut them all out because I was like, I'm going to use these because, you know, I've only had them 30 years because I'm quite sure they were older than Brandon. I'm quite sure I didn't buy them after I had Brandon.
Wow.
So I made the resin pieces. I used I don't know whether I used 1 or 2 packages of the resin. I have more, and I want to do more of this because I thought this was a lot of fun. I wasn't, I had never done it before, so it was one of those things where I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was as far as holding the resin up off of something. I now have a better idea on that. So it took a little bit, but what happened was they got these bubbles on the back. See right there? And it's too thick because I want to put it
Show
I
that
wanna
again.
put-
I'm sorry. I didn't really actually see the bubble.
Okay. It's not really a bubble. It's a lump. Let's see.
Okay.
Wait, just a minute.
Oh yeah.
Come
Oh,
on,
yeah.
focus. Focus. Okay.
Where it
See,
where
Yeah, I
it
can
there
see
it
it
is.
now. That's good.
There's
Thank
the
you.
lump. It's not really a bubble, it's a lump. And it's where they drip over the edge. It
Right.
gets these lumps on it.
Right.
Well, because they're too big of a lump. Just a minute. I want to not touch this with that. I want to put them on the covers of these Christmas books, which I now have the insides all finished. And I want to use them to decorate up the Christmas books. And to glue them, just to glue them on or glue them on with something else behind them or whatever, those lumps are going to cause an issue. So I'm taking the lumps off. And I tried using my fancy sanding paper that Jeffrey got me. This is fancy sanding paper. By the way, this stuff comes in squares as well. And if you don't have a piece of it, you should get a piece. It's from Mirka, Mirka, and it's mesh. Can you see? You can see right through it.
Yeah.
And what happens is that sandpaper always you lose the grit off the sandpaper, and sandpaper clogs up. This stuff is almost a lifetime piece. So if you get one piece of it, it'll last forever. And the grit goes right through it. So this is, fancy sanding paper. Jeffrey went to the cabinet shop and got this for himself. I do know that Mindy ordered it off of Amazon, I think. This is Grit 320. And this one's round because it goes, it's got a Velcro-y thing on. This is the side you sand on. It's got like this Velcro stuff. You stick it on the sander. It's just what Jeff bought for himself. So he gave me a piece. And it's amazing stuff. It's really amazing. So I was trying
Did
that.
you
but
see
that
what Susan said?
they
She
went
said
out
they
of
went out
business
of
around.
business around 1985. I guess that's the business of that place you got those little resin things from.
Oh, TGNY. Okay, around 1985. Okay, that would make sense because Brandon was born in 90.
I remember TGNY.
Yeah. And these all came from TGNY, so I've had them that long. Anyways, so I started trying to sand it. It was going to be too much trouble because, I'm not that patient. So I went and got the Dremel. And this happens to be a diamond. It's coated in diamonds. And it's pretty worn, actually. When I clean a bead, it's called diamond, called bead release, but what it has is, it's like a liquidy clay that when it cooks in the kiln, it turns into this little hard clay inside of a bead. And I don't send my beads out that way. I think once you receive a bead from me, it should be clean enough to use. So I get them wet and hold them in water and drill them just a little bit. It doesn't really take the glass off, just takes the dirt off. So I'm using this diamond reamer to take the bubbles off. And that is a very long answer for such a short question. And what are you doing? I did have Jeff go get me a dust mask because obviously it's making a lot of dirt.
It sure
and
is. I'm
I
glad
got
you did that.
I got a wet it's just a wet rag so that it won't go all over my table. Maybe 1984. I sued them is how I know. Not a big deal, just for principle. Okay.
I sued them. Sued them. Funny. TGNY. What? I'm curious now, Susan. What'd you sue them for?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Mhm.
Not a big deal, just for principle. Well, principle's a pretty big deal, actually.
That's an interesting.
That's the problem is a lot of people are losing principles.
Lisa, you can make me small again because I'm going to turn my well, hi Barb. And by the way, I think I heard a couple of Sharons were in here. Hi Sharon. I would just want to say, welcome to everybody that I missed because I was, paying attention where my fingers were.
Well, that's important when your fingers are close to the tool.
Yeah.
Well, especially that one, because I'll tell you what, this is a large diamond reamer. Okay, this is the large one. The small one, the small one is much thinner, and it'll go through your finger.
I bet.
And it's I know that from experience. So this one'll eat your fingernail right off. So okay, I'm gonna mute again. So if you need me, just say something because I can hear you.
All righty.
She hasn't told us what she did, so.
Well,
did you put them out of business, Susan? That's what all the inquiring minds want to know. Okay.
Okay, I'm doing a page for Brett Allen Bentley. Okay.
All right.
Newborn announcement.
Brett.
And he was born March the 27th. And doesn't have a date, but there's a postmark for 1961. So I would say that he is a couple of years older than me. So we're going to do a page for him. And I'm starting it with this that's kind of a genealogy of all the children born to the Bentleys. All of these kids were born to John Edward and Adeline Bentley. All of them.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. And okay, what did I say his name was? Brett Allen. Okay. Well, I don't see a Brett Allen. Okay, maybe he was born to a different Bentleys and not John Edward. Let's see. Parents were Nona and Eddie, so this is his cousin's family, I guess, not his family. So we're going to cover it up anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm going to find a picture of a baby, and we're going to let this be that baby be representative of him, because I don't think I have any pictures that actually came with this stuff that are of him. Let's see. Well, here's a baby right there. Looks like a little girl, but it wouldn't have had to be back then. They sometimes, well, maybe not by the 60s. Before that, they sometimes dressed boys and girls both in similar clothes when they're tiny, but okay, there's another picture of the Bentley girls. Let's see if I can find another baby picture. I'm going to use those. Here's some pictures. Susan says, as they were going out of business, I shopped. I was holding Amanda, about 2 or 3 years old, past a jewelry counter, and she got the top of her foot sliced on a broken display piece. Oh, my goodness. I told the manager, who said he didn't care.
Oh,
I'm telling you, attitude.
He didn't care. Whoa.
Yeah, he needed an attitude check, that's for sure.
Wow. Poor guy, he probably worked there for 25 years. I don't know why I say poor guy, but okay. Glue it. We be gluing.
Okay, I know for absolute certain because, for one thing, my roommate was a little bit heavier than her, and it was a lot later than this. But her face, this woman looks just like my very first roommate.
Oh,
It was kind of a shock to see that. I was like, no, that's not Monica, but it sure looks like it could have been. Yeah, that's kind of freaky weird. Well, here's a couple of boys, but neither one of them are newborns, and that's what I really want, is a newborn to go with that. But never fear, I have a bunch more pictures. Okay, where am I putting these things after I look at them? I guess right there. Okay. And I've already looked through those. That's possible. It's still really older than I would want to put with a birth announcement, but I'm going to keep it out just in case. Do you remember this, Barbara? You sent this along with the wedding dress?
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
God, make yourself bigger. Who is that? Is that somebody that I knew at the time?
Yeah, the lady whose the wedding dress was her mother's.
Oh my God.
It says, my parents on their wedding day, May 1946, Lily and Louise Barbara Thiessen, Donald George
Okay,
Thiessen.
That's my friend Donna.
Yeah,
okay.
Donna Wildearth. Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's my friend Donna. That's her parents.
These are her parents. Yeah. Hannah has finally decided she can't use that dress the way, as a dress. So we will be getting a piece of it to send to you because I know you. I haven't forgotten you wanted a piece of it if she cut it up. So
it doesn't matter at all. No, it doesn't matter. That I can do without at this moment in my life, I bet.
Well,
because don't you know, I had forgotten. I sent that to you, but I'm sure glad I did. Because you'll cut it up and make it into something, books or something interesting.
Yeah. Here's a cool picture
that is cool.
It's not a Bentley. It's this. I went to a antique store and they had a few things like this in the dollar bin.
Oh, wow.
And this one were both in the dollar bin. And I was like, okay, that is just way too cool to leave here if it's just $1. So okay, I just dropped the book, of course, because I have everything stacked. Too many stacks.
Putting it up a little higher.
Behind my chair, I have a clothesline with a bunch of paper towels stretched out on it. Looks like I'm very, very thrifty. I've washed my paper towels and I'm saving them. Except that I didn't, and I haven't, and I'm not. I mean, I am thrifty, but not that thrifty. Okay. All right, here's a bunch of, here's a picture of a mom and a baby. So that would be good for this page.
Oh, that'd be good for that page or somewhere.
Yeah, but we'll see if we have any other ones.
Okay.
These are both older babies.
Going on the page.
Okay, here's another picture from my old man journal.
Oh, look. Old man journal.
I don't know if you were around when we were talking about that.
Well, I
I
was
had
seeing some pictures that you were showing about old men.
Yeah, I was gonna put them in my We the People book, and somebody said we just need to make an old man journal with captions.
There you go. Oh yeah. Cool.
It was this
Oh.
morning, and Jean and I said we were going to take pictures of our old men and make a journal out of our old men pictures that we actually knew the old men.
Oh, that's a funny thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Jean said she was going to do all sleeping pictures of her old man.
Because he doesn't think he sleeps very much.
Uh-huh. Susan says, does the old man have a name on it?
I don't think so. Let me look. Well, where are you, old man? I dumped a bunch more pictures down there after I. Well. Oh, there he is. He was way at the bottom.
Lights just blinked. It's not a good
Mr.
sign.
Hogue on East Clark Street in 1941. There's Mr. Hogue. So
if I disappear from the link, you'll know that the storm has blown something out of
Okay.
whack.
Well, you stay safe.
I'm safe, but power lines go bonkers.
This little girl's all wrapped up in a shawl.
Oh, she's
It like
cute.
dwarfs her, but she's so cute. Oh, isn't this pretty? Look at this.
Yeah. Oh. Well, you've got some wonderful stuff there.
These these that were in this came from two different thrift stores that when Hannah and I were on a trip that we went to, that both of them had some things that were well, okay. No, those are. Have I got my piles mixed up? I think I do.
Teresa,
Okay.
did you see what she said? My brother and sister-in-law got me a bead loom and a bead spinner for Christmas. So I guess what I'm learning with Tanya's beads. Cool.
Cool. That's wonderful.
That is wonderful.
That'll be fun. Anyway, at this thrift store, they had both of these happened to have, they had a dollar bin, and then they also had stuff, pictures that were for $1. So a few of these, like this one and this one, and let's see, this one, these and those other two big ones that I had came from the dollar bin. And then the rest of these were for $1.
Teresa, you'll have to post pictures when you get it made.
Yes.
Of course, she doesn't need the bead spinner for my beads because that's, they have big holes, but the bead spinner works really well for seed beads.
Well, I was wondering what a bead spinner was, but now I think you've answered the question.
It's a little bowl that spins, and you have a needle, and if you put your needle to the side of it just right, the seed beads will spin right onto that needle. So when you're trying to thread hundreds of yards of for say make a beaded tassel, or she's going to be weaving it, so she wants to have a string of beads to go back and forth in the loom. The bead spinner really makes it, you're not having to pick up one or two beads at a time.
That makes sense.
It doesn't work real well if you're trying to get a specific pattern, because you have to pick up one, say you want one black one there and 4 blue ones and then 2 black ones and then 4 more blue ones, that kind of thing. It doesn't work well for that, but it does work well if you want to put multiple beads onto a string that are the same, or in a bead mix or something like that, where it doesn't matter what color exactly you pick up.
Yeah.
And some beads work in it better, some seed beads work in it better than others. Japanese seed beads have a cleaner hole. They're more uniform than Czech seed beads. So there is a big difference in what kind of seed beads that works as best. So there's a lot of things about seed beads that you don't realize that just because it's a little bead, it's not always the same. Works well for her beaded roses, yes, and leaves. Oh yes, it does. And not only that, if she's making beaded roses and leaves, she's probably putting the beads. The one that goes back and forth is called the weft. That's right. The one that's on the loom permanently is called the warp.
I always mix those up too.
Yeah. The up and down ones are called warp. Yeah, the ones that go back and forth are called weft. But if she's doing beaded roses and beaded leaves, she's probably putting it on very thin beading wire, which I may be wrong, but that's even easier because it's like having a huge long needle. Yes, that's right, Teresa.
Hey guys, I finished my project.
Ooh, the whole thing is done?
Yep. This is the last page.
Yay!
All right.
All done.
Very cool. I can see where the bead spinner is going to save you a lot of time, Teresa. Okay, I'm going back to mute for a few minutes because I have one more to do.
All righty.
I can't believe I finally finished this book.
It feels good, doesn't it?
It feels sort of anticlimactic, actually. Thanks, Sharon.
Well, do you have something else you can work on? I bet you do.
I'm sure I do. You may have the idea, Susan. Do y'all want to see it again? Did everybody here get to see it?
Here,
I'll show
let
it to
me
you one more time.
make you big, and you can do a flip through.
This was one of those calendars that you get from disabled vets. Yeah. Oh, look, Andrea's here just in time to see the reveal. So, I always usually throw them out, but anyway, in 2015, I think it was probably Shannon Green who was doing recycled books. She might have been my first recycled book guru. So I said, okay, I'm going to make a recycled book. So I took the pages out, I glued them together, and I made 2 signatures. So that's what this paper is. Enter at your own risk. So what I wanted to do was do some like Zentangles of the opposite image. So some of them I tried to sketch. I think this one I tried to sketch. I soon abandoned that idea and started working with the computer and Photoshop and flipping them.
Ah.
I think this one I actually drew this one too.
Yeah.
Because you could cut the image out, flip it over and trace it. And then you have the outline. So these painty pages are reminiscent of Shannon Green, I think.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I am woman, hear me roar. So I just found fun images and played. It's all play, right?
That's right. If it's not, rethink it.
And all but one of the, well, 3 pages were done other than during July and August of 2015. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. So I added sparkle on his. Let's see if I can get it to sparkle. On his collar, those little dots are purple sparkles.
Oh, uh-huh. Cool. So he got,
and he's kind of a
whether he wanted
guy.
to or not.
You're right. This was the one I did in 2021. You know, you
really
forget so
cool.
much. Thank you. You forget so much about the style. So the style of this book, and then doing this page in 2021, I'd already done the background. I already had the paint on the page, and I already done the black and white stamping all the way through the book. But to try to get the style of what you did back when was interesting, challenging.
I have that that problem just from day to day sometimes.
Yeah, really. I know, because we do so many things, right? So here's washi tape showing up here, but not in very many of the pages. It's all right. You pick the tool when you think about it, but I mean, where I've used the stuff I've used, I really like what I've used. These are those little scratch it journals, you know, the black shiny inside, and you scratch off the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it was metallic underneath. Is that right, or is it just a trick of the light?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's metallic underneath. We are fearless, independent, and original. That's us. Are you having fun yet?
Depends. Am I just holding balloons, or am I having to do jumping jacks?
Right.
There you go.
And then this little strip from my local artist hero here named Joan Gold. This is one of the ones I did today. Be original.
So did you flip it and turn it into black and white? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, I scanned it and flipped it, turned it into black and white, and did some doodling. I mean, kind of like printed it kind of light.
Yeah.
So I've actually added some bling on her bracelets and necklace.
Yeah, I can see that. And her earrings. Cool.
Yeah.
It actually shows up.
Yeah, it does. I found some little characters to go on the page with her. That's fun. And then this is the final page.
Wants to know if that's Carmen Miranda.
I don't know. It could be. It's from that, you know, image book that you can, thousands of images you can cut out and collage. It could be Carmen Miranda.
I'm going to excuse myself before Teresa's comment gets off the page. You like my little notebook. Okay. It's probably the one I sent her in a box. Can you give me the picture for just a minute before, and then you can go right back to, you talking about like this, Barbara? Or Teresa, did I send you something like this? Is that what I sent you?
That's cute, Tanya. Very cute.
I love the buttons on it.
Yeah. You can go back to Barbara, because if she says yes, then I'll do a explanation after Barbara's finished. No, I didn't send it. She saw it on here. Okay, so it was one of those though. All right. Well, then I'll explain it when I thought I sent something in your box. So go ahead, Barbara, and I'll explain when you're
All right.
done.
Jasper has a
So
question
Jasper,
for you.
yeah, she
Yeah.
asked a question. I saw that, Jasper. The story behind doing the mirror image, when I started doing this is my first junk journal, my absolutely first junk journal. And I thought, well, why don't I just go ahead and make mistakes in it and not worry about what they look like? So wouldn't it be kind of interesting? Like, she's kind of designy looking, sketchy looking. Why don't I just see if I can do her the opposite way? So I think one thing led to the other, and all of a sudden the idea was being carried out. You know how you do. You start something and then you just want to do the next something. Oh, I want to do that too. Okay, that'd be interesting if I did that. So that's the only story to it. So did we decide this was Carmen Miranda? Anyway,
I don't know
so
if that
here's
was an
the end.
absolute decision or made or not.
You must be present to win. I figured that would be a good page to end the book on. You must be present to win, because how true is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So 1/6/24, it's done. Isn't that wonderful? I'm so stoked. Thank you, ladies, for having a party where I could finish this project.
Well,
I
thank
think
you
it's
for
my
finishing
only
it with us.
UFO.
I
Thank
can't
you,
believe
Andrea.
that's your only UFO. I have so many UFOs.
Well, I was thinking, I was watching Peg's video last night, and I have like 5 pages in last year's journal that are just completely empty. So if I get to the end of the year and I haven't finished that year's Art Everyday journal, I just let it go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it
But
belongs to a certain period of time.
Right.
because it belongs to a certain period of time. But I have some empty pages on a couple of books from like that, from the Art Everyday books, what I basically call my art journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jasper's got countless UFOs. Well, I don't have countless UFOs.
Okay. If you will make me big, Lisa, I will explain to Teresa how I made those.
Alrighty.
They're just they're very, very simple little books. Okay, this particular one was scraps out of my scrap bin. Okay, it's just honest to goodness little strips of paper that I cut off to make pages for something else that were the right size. Okay, so they were in my scrap bin. This is a piece of jelly printed wallpaper that was probably in my scrap bin, and I probably cut it to be, I probably very likely cut it to be the right size for these strips of paper. I folded all the papers and the cover in half. And this one doesn't even have a hole in it. I took this wax linen, wrapped it around twice, tied a knot, and it's folded in half. And then I just stuck a couple of buttons on the front of it. And I mean, it's literally just wrapped around.
Cute.
Wrapped around twice. Okay, let me see. There you go.
Jamie says, I may make a journal and only do a few pages in it and not go back to it. I don't know if she's saying this may be something that she does, or if she's saying she might be going to do it like out of, I'm just going to make one that I don't finish. Yeah. I don't know.
But
I'm not sure which one she's saying.
Okay, this is the same thing. And that I had a bunch of these papers that were in my scrap drawer, and I had probably cut them off for something else, and they were in there. And so I took another scrap that was in my scrap bin.
Bring it down just a tad.
Oh, there sorry. That was, yeah, because my autofocus is on. That was a piece of shaving cream paper. These particular papers Brandon and I did back in the day when he was little. So, you know, that's how old they were. And I must have used a piece of it and had a piece of it in my scrap drawer. Now this one, I punched a hole in the middle. And I went out through the hole, around one end, out through the hole, around the other end, and tied a knot in the middle. You could have wrapped it around that way, but it's kind of like a pamphlet stitch, but it only had one hole. And I guess that was wider, so I decided that it needed to have a hole in it. I put these little notebooks like this in my purse, so I've always got a chunk of little paper to write some stupid note on that I might need a note. And if I tear it off and stick it, you know, somewhere else when I get home, they're skinny. There's only probably 8 or 10 pieces of paper in here. Let's see how many pieces of paper there are in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. My fingers are kind of dry. 5, 6, 7. There's 10 sheets of paper in here, folded in half. That gives you 20 pages, 20 sheets of paper, 2 sides. That's 40 pages to write on. And you notice I used the hole and everything. I mean, I used a whole piece of scrap. So it's just little scrap journals that I've made over time.
Those are really cute. Really cute, Tanya.
And this I'm sure was in the scrap bin, and who knows where the buttons were that I decided to stick buttons on things that day, but apparently I did. And
I think they're cute with buttons.
Keep making new covers and signatures for different things before I finish them off. Well, see, and I make journals not because I'm going to write in them or do anything in them. I make journals because I like making books. So, okay, you can make me little again.
Jasper, and then you got diagnosed with ADD, so it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
That's right. Patience and acceptance.
Oh, while you got me up, I'll show you. I did not. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I can see the edge.
Okay, I didn't grind these super, super flat because I didn't want to grind through the paper. All I did was flatten it out enough so that when I put like Aleene's tacky glue, which is thicker glue on, that it'll stick down. There's still a bump, but nothing. Some of those bumps were almost 1/4 of an inch. So, okay, make me little again.
Just a minute. I will when I get back.
Oh, okay. She was gone. Oh no, not again. All right, you guys.
She's dropping it. She's
well,
craft-a-lanching
the last time I dropped them, they got all mixed up. And then I had to count them out and do separate things. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So anyways, my resin pieces, once I get them, they're kind of dusty, so I'm cleaning them off. But once I get them done, then I can work on the covers. I did stick these to some paper, so I have to clean them. They stuck to one another is what happened, I think. So that one's
well, I probably am a little bit Jasper because I tend to go from this to this to this to this to this. I always want to try all the new things right then, and I leave behind the things that I haven't finished. My daughter definitely is she's ADHD, but
yeah,
it's a lot the same. And so, and I know quite a few other people, but Hannah has just realized that she's got to figure out some ways to do things differently from the way I tell her to do them, because my way doesn't work for her because she doesn't think about it like I do. So
She
Yeah.
does it. Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's true just for all people, whether or not you have attention deficit or not. But we all think differently, and the way our brain works is different. Um, we all
well, and,
see
for
the
her,
answer to things
there are
different.
things she does not see.
Yeah, that's right.
What like when she gets finished with something, she sets it down wherever she's at, and she doesn't ever notice it again because she's finished.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That
It's
kind of
done.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's done.
Yep. Um, it, Brandon is Brandon is truly gifted. That's my kidlet, guys. If you didn't know, his IQ is off the charts. Um, and he was, I don't remember exactly what grade he was in, but he was doing advanced math. I think in algebra or algebra 2 or something, calculus, who knows. Okay, and the teacher was having a conniption because he didn't write his work down. Um, but when he did write his work down, the teacher's like, that's not the right way to do it. And we had a very large argument because I said, does he have the right answer? And the teacher said, yes. And I said, so he sees a different path than you do, but he's wrong because he doesn't see your path. And it was kind of startling that the teacher was like, okay, yeah, you're kind of right. So,
Well, I'm glad she was enlightened enough to admit that.
yeah. We had another teacher that said that Brandon's brain doesn't work the same way as ours works. So that's why he doesn't, because Brandon can go from seeing the problem to seeing the end, and his brain doesn't go through the steps that ours does.
Not consciously, anyway.
No. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think sometimes I've had issues with ADD or just my brain thing. Yeah. I don't know. I think we all think things differently, but Jeffrey doesn't see things. And Brandon has said in the past to me, he goes, Mom, I need you to look at this because, I know that you'll see something different about it, and I don't want to do it wrong and waste this or that because I don't see it was usually about building something is what he would do because, my mind sees things structurally and his doesn't. So it was interesting with that kid at home and school and stuff. So,
Yeah.
Barbara, what are you doing now?
Well, I got this out to show you what I'm doing now because my favorite little bookmarks to send out to people are these. They're
those are cute.
Hidden paper clips with my hand carved stamps on them and Te Amo on the back. And I'm very fond of this series. I've already sent out like 24 of them in the last 6 months or so. So this is hand carved stamp. This is hand carved. This is hand carved stamp. And this is actually a hand carved stamp made from a punch.
I used to have that punch, I think.
A little tiny punch.
Yeah, a little tiny punch. Yep.
A little tiny punch, and then I enlarged it on my computer and made it into a stamp.
A stamp. How
so
fun.
That's what I need because I need to make more of these. They're about to disappear, and I don't want them to go away. Yeah. So I made myself a piece of paper to cut up into these sizes to make some more hidden paper clips.
Yeah.
I've been, for years I've been making just regular old bookmarks to send out to people. And still have a bunch of those to send out also, but I'm just really loving these little characters.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing.
Teresa, Brandon had a teacher like that too. It was a science teacher, and he and I used to go around and round and round because he would fail kids because they didn't take notes properly. And I'm like, when you're taking a note, it's what makes you remember it, not it doesn't have to be written out your way. Plus, he made the kids write things 2 and 3 times. You know, they had to rewrite their notes 3 times. And I'm like, not every kid learns by writing things down. So, okay,
That's
so now,
true. Yeah.
oh yeah, well,
Yeah. Everybody ought to be allowed, once they figure out what helps them learn things, you
right,
know, they ought to be allowed to study that way or whatever. That was one of the blessings of homeschooling, that I could,
yes.
once I figured out what worked, you know, for
What works
Ethan.
for what kid? Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, because he has an awesome brain. It's mean to him anxiety wise, but it's like you were talking about the math thing.
Yeah.
And Ethan could give me the answer, but he couldn't write it down because there was a disconnect between his brain and his hand. And if he could tell me exactly how to do it, you
But
know,
he couldn't get. He
but
couldn't.
writing it down would take him, you know, like all day to do a few problems where he could do a whole page worth if I didn't make him write it down, you know.
Yep.
And he was in 2nd grade. I was complaining to Darren. I said, you know, we could get so much done if Ethan didn't have to write anything down. And Darren said, is he learning it? And I said, yes. He said, so why does he have to write it down?
Yeah.
And I was just like, so his mommy has proof. Because
Yeah.
if CPS comes to raid our house, I don't want to say, yeah, he can do math. I know it's only the answers, but he did it. You know?
Yeah.
Darren said, Lisa, the chance of CPS coming to check Ethan's math is very slim. Oh,
Yeah.
so we did a lot of things we didn't write down when he was young because it was so hard. And then he got to where he typed everything. He even did his algebra and geometry and stuff on the computer because it was easier to type in the formulas than to write them down.
Yeah. Because his brain thought his function went that way. I had a teacher tell me Brandon, because Brandon is almost as abysmal as far as spelling goes as I am, almost, not quite. And something was said, and she said, Tanya, don't worry about it. She said, because he will always either have a computer or a secretary.
There you go.
Well, he doesn't have a secretary, but he does have a computer. So what if the kid is dyslexic? What if they are on the spectrum, and let alone if they have ADHD? Cannot be that perspective, even without learning differences. All kids are well managed. Yeah, that's it. Somewhere along the line, one of the classes I took when I was working in the behavior room said that we learned 7 different ways. They were discussing earlier that somebody's visual learner, somebody has to write it down. Somebody has to read. I can read something and usually figure it out, but not everybody can do that. So
yeah, some people need to watch a video. Some people need to hear you say the words.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
Well, and I had a customer, one of my students when I was teaching sewing, that she'd been in a car accident and the words going in her ears no longer worked. But if you showed her something, she could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was from this car accident. She had been hurt in this car accident. So, you want to go back to all of us, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, not that I care, but I was trying to see what you were doing too.
Oh, I'm just working on a page in my Bentley Girls book. I finally decided that's one of the things I want to work on this year. and I'm now ready to face these ugly pages. Teresa was saying she didn't know how to make a journal. She always hated them when she made them. And I was saying, this is the one I made that once I got it put together, I didn't want to work in it. I just hated it. But I think I'm now in a place where I can see, I can cover it up completely. I don't have to love it right now, you know?
Okay.
That's
All
right.
But for a while, I was not in a place to do that. I was irritated by the fact that it was,
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that epilepsy would cause something like that too. Smallest had no interest in scribbling or coloring as a little one. Holding a pen just held no appeal to it at all. I've not forced it. He was too busy running everywhere. Yeah, Sophia, yeah. And Brandon's smart enough that he's learned that, okay, I figured he started out of high school in IT and had several real estate companies in Omaha wanting him to work for them. And he turned them down. He said, I absolutely detest IT. He can make a computer do 17,000 things. He's built his own computers and mainframes, and he can work 2 keyboards and 7 monitors all at the same time because his brain works that way. And he said, you never finish a project when you work in IT. It's never done. And he just couldn't stand it. So he's a mechanic, and that's fine.
Yep.
And now he's 6 and had to do formal lessons. He's had to learn. He's a late developer. And Brandon didn't want to learn to read because, then nobody would read to him. So
Did
that
you
was
finally convince him you would go ahead and read to him if he would just go ahead and let himself?
Yeah, but we were reading chapter books by the time he was 3.
Yeah.
Because that was him. And in kindergarten, it was like just getting him to read a word was forcing him. And by the time he got into 1st grade, it was done. He was reading 6th grade level by then, and I can't tell you how much science fiction I had to read. Oh my gosh, I had to read science fiction. Oh, because he was reading it. He was reading it in adult level, so I had to read everything before he read it.
Yeah. That was the hardest part about having one that reads quickly and early, is that and voraciously. When they read voraciously, like, then you have to monitor. When they're young, you have to monitor. So, and that's not easy.
Do a snake. Should do a snake on some of those.
I gotta find some things that I want to put on these covers. I don't know if 120 is good or not, but I suspect it's average.
That'd be fun.
120 what?
IQ. I think that's.
I have no idea.
I think it's a little above the average, but I'm not going to tell you that for sure. It's been a long time.
That was one thing. We had some friends who were getting their kids' IQ tested, and Darren said, we're not testing our kids' IQ. And I said, why not? And he said, they're already smart enough. If they know how smart they are, that's going to be trouble.
Oh, go on.
I didn't tell Brandon his IQ until he had graduated from high school. High school.
He was teasing, but we never did have it done. We couldn't see any advantage to knowing it. Especially, when both of our kids were really brilliant in some areas and then really struggling in other areas. And, especially when, I don't know, we just decided it wouldn't tell us anything that would be helpful.
Yes. I wouldn't have had it done except for school.
Yeah.
Because Brandon was in
Well, when you're trying to get, people to pay attention to your, what your child needs or whatever,
Right.
they have to do things like that. You have to do a lot of things when you're trying to get the school to do what they need to do. Okay, here's my baby page.
Maybe.
Okay, that most of us sit in a range of 96 to 105. The biggest thing that was told to me about Brandon was that Brandon sits on the spectrum so as far away from normal as a child with Down syndrome that is low functioning. So that's how she explained it to me, and that's how I looked at it because he's not normal, so it takes him. He's different, so I have to look at the way we do things differently.
Yeah,
that was what I had to learn. So. Oh, Jamie, I feel like a 12-year-old all the time. That is my standard.
I'm looking for this.
Standard kind of way I feel.
Sherry, my son Ethan was the same way. Only it was just in Sunday school, because at home I knew that he was comprehending, so I didn't worry about it. But at Sunday school, they were complaining that he was running around, and I said, well, if he can't run around, I'll take him out of the class, because he's not doing it to be disruptive. He's not doing it because he's not paying attention. He's doing it because his body can't just sit there. I said,
Right.
if you ask him questions, can he answer them? And she said, oh yeah, he's always the first one to raise his hand. And I was like, well, okay. I don't know what to tell you. If it bothers you too much, I'll take him out of class. She said, no, I don't want you to do that. I said, well, I don't want him to feel like he has to sit on that chair and not move the whole time he's in Sunday school, or he'll hate Sunday school.
Yeah.
So she decided, that since he definitely did answer her questions and everything, that he, when she figured out he wasn't being disrespectful, he just had to move, then she was okay with it. It's just not normal, because everybody has to sit on their little carpet square.
Yeah. That doesn't happen with most kids. I had a teacher. Brandon was in, must have been about the 6th grade. Call me upstairs to her room. She was pissed. She was absolutely pissed because Brandon was reading when she was lecturing. And she called me up in the middle of this lecture and she was on Brandon's case and giving him what for. And I said to her, so what were you lecturing about? And she said something, and I said, so have you asked him a question about what you were talking about? Okay, because he's reading a science fiction book or something. He's got his other book open. They were supposed to have read something, and she was lecturing. I said, did you ask him a question? No. I said, well, ask him a question. She asked him 10 questions in a row about what she's lecturing about, and he answered everyone correctly. And I turned to her and I said, so do you want him to talk to the kid next to him? Because she's already stuck him in a corner because he talked too much. Do you want him to be moved out of your class? Because I will. And I said, I'll take him downstairs to my classroom. He'll learn just as much. And I said that because he's reading, he's finished what you told him to read. He's listening to you, and he's reading. And I'll bet you he could tell you what's in the book he's reading. And she shut up, and she hated me. Oh, she hated me.
Aw.
But that's all right. I didn't care.
You'd think that teachers would be more aware of kids.
Some of them
Well, you know,
are.
the funny thing is, I know a lot of teachers who are.
Yes.
I mean, I know
me
them
too.
personally, you know, and they talk about their students and they talk about how what they have, you know, how much they're trying to adapt and all of this. And teachers have just as many bad stories about parents who don't care as
Oh, yeah.
parents who care have stories about teachers, you know.
Oh, yeah. We had some awful parents in the classes that that I worked in the classroom. It was, there was constant. Okay, I don't know what's going on with these, but it's not. I can't seem to figure out what I want to do to these covers, which is not making me happy. I just don't. It's just like.
Anybody know where the lid to my glue is?
I don't know, but it's with Jamie's graphite.
It must.
Uh-oh.
Jamie, I need my lid. I guess I'll look in the trash can again and see if. Well, I have a lid from the one I threw away earlier in the trash can somewhere, so I'll dig it out.
There you go. Uh-huh.
Okay. Glad I thought of that because this one's not quite finished and I don't want to. Okay.
It's on Barbara's table. There you go. It's on Barbara's table.
On Barbara's table.
Probably
Okay.
somewhere. Yes.
I'm going to go ask the teacher to make me tea.
Okay, I'm going to
As
show
we're
you.
talking about dyeing paper with chamomile tea. That's cool.
Who was talking about it?
Jasper is in chat.
Oh, cool.
Chamomile tea dyed handmade paper came out really pretty. Coffee stained ones are the color of
Ooh,
chocolate.
yummy. That sounds good. Yeah.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrea says chamomile makes a yellow. I might have to try that. I have some
chamomile tea does though, or just chamomile? Because chamomile flowers make a yellow. Oh, that's really cool, Lisa.
That is cool. Look. Oh, that's lovely. I love the kid in the little wagon. Oh my God. Oh. Lisa, you're muted, honey.
Thank you.
You better tell us that again. You better tell us that again.
Look what Hannah brought me. Somebody gave her at work with candy in it.
Oh, isn't he cute?
He is cute. Now I got to figure out something to do with him. Okay, what I said was,
right.
Before I unmuted myself, that these three pictures we're pretending are all the same child. There's the baby and the announcement, and there he is as a tiny toddler, and there he is when he's a little bit older.
Oh,
how fun!
So
that is very cute. Very.
It was a fun page to do. Oh, I guess I need to write the date on it because I don't think I did that on any other ones, so I have no idea when I even started this thing.
Yeah, Jasper, Jamie is making something. The little guys Jamie's making. Okay, Jasper, you Susan, you have to explain yourself better because we don't know what you're talking about.
Right. What little guys Jamie's making?
Mm-hmm. And Jasper, do you realize that those are not Lisa's family, right? Those are pictures you bought, right?
Well, no, they're not my family. Some of these I did buy. The Bentley stuff I was given because the lady who gave it to me was one of my dad's cousins. And she thought the Bentleys were kin to us on the other side of the family. And she wasn't sure why she had those. But it turns out they're not kin to us at all. I don't know why she had them, but she didn't want them anymore. And she knew her kids wouldn't care. And so just in case they were my family, she sent them to me. And so I have a lot of stuff for the Bentleys, but they're not family. But so I decided I would make this about their family and would just make up stuff about their family. We do know that they own some property and some mineral rights, and so they were probably not poor people. but that's pretty much all I know.
Oh.
So, yeah, you can collect photos from relatives and just, scan them or take pictures of them and put them in, uh, you know, and use them in your art if you can. Now, these are original pictures, but if they're family members, you can, make copies of them and use them in your art. So, yeah.
Jasper, mineral rights means that they don't necessarily own the property, but they own what's underneath it or any minerals that they can take out of it.
Right.
There's a lot of oil wells on property in Texas that they own the mineral rights, but they don't own the property. So some family owns the property, but somebody bought the mineral rights out from underneath them. It's kind of a weird thing. I don't know that it's really.
Some of the paperwork I have on them were people asking them if they could buy the mineral rights for their land.
Right. And sometimes
and some
that
of
happens.
them, they sold some, but some they didn't. But
yeah, sometimes that has happened because they couldn't pay their taxes without money, and they would lose their land. So they sell the mineral rights, and then they can pay. That's money that comes in that they didn't have before. And it happens a lot on ranches and not so much farms, but on ranches, especially because you've got to have a lot of property to have ranch land. So in the U.S., property landowners don't own the mineral rights.
I know a lot of landowners who own the mineral rights. So I'm wondering what's going on. They have to buy them from the government, or I don't know, Jamie. I don't understand that.
Yeah. Okay. And Jasper, these are some resin pieces that were in these kits that we just figured out.
Make you big so you can see that better.
Okay, these kits must have come from around 1985. I bought them at TGNY. They had TGNY stickers on them when I unpackaged them. They were clearanced when TGNY was closing, and Susan looked up and TGNY closed in 1985. And when we were working on the Christmas books earlier last year, I resined a bunch of them because it was a resin kit. And, an AB resin kind of thing. And I had a lot of fun doing it, but it made little bumps, so I couldn't use them just yet. So I had to scrape the bumps off. And now I'm going to put them on these covers. I don't know. I'm not getting exactly something I like. Buy land for recreation so I can be on the coast in my RV crafting with fibs on YouTube. Yay! Yeah. Mm-hmm. And these are old kits. So, it's like I didn't even know if the resin would work. It worked perfectly. I was real pleased with it. But it was one of those things where I wasn't, I had not done anything like that in a long time. So it was like, what am I going to do with this? So hold on just a minute. I got to answer a question for Jeff. Okay. That's perfect. Okay. And it doesn't have to be,
well, something to be fabric.
Yes, it doesn't have to be accurate, but it's just okay. Okay, you're gonna make me small again.
I understand that now, Jamie. And the land that the people that I'm talking about have been on the land longer than that. So
yeah,
their family has been. So that's probably the difference.
The railroad had a hand in that, and that doesn't surprise me. And here in Florida, a lot of people build houses out on Pensacola Beach, and they do not own the land their houses are on. The land is rented to them. It's the land's owned by either the state or the county. And hi, Janice. And so they build these houses on this land, and they don't own the land.
So they own the house,
yeah,
but not the land.
Yep.
They have what do you do if you can't pay your rent on the land anymore? Do you lose your house?
It's not rent on the land. It's not a yearly rent on the land. They have a 99-year lease.
Okay.
So and
it's like the trailer parks here. The mobile home parks here. You buy your home, but you rent the land that it's on.
Yeah. Yeah, but most trailer parks charge you a monthly fee. and the way that the
They
county
probably
or
do
the
that,
state
too.
does this, it's you pay, it's like buying a piece of land, but you don't actually own it. So that you pay as much for the land as if you bought it, but you don't own it. Mexico is the same. So if the Mexican wants you gone, you gone. Don't buy land in Mexico. Okay. I'm trying to figure out some way to make myself happy with the with what's on my cover. And it's not happening.
I think I have 30 minutes. Let's see if I can do another little page in here. I don't know.
Okay. There's one.
Let's see what happens if I try these.
Oh.
Leasehold property is a thing. That's what I think. That's what they call this. Jamie, I'm not going to guarantee it because we've never bought a piece of property like that, so it's not one of those things that. All right, that's not working. I'm going to have to move that one. This pile can go where? Where can this pile go? Oh, this pile can go somewhere over here. We'll put it right in there. There we go.
Now I'll just see if I can get this to tuck into the pocket nicely.
Jeff wants to build a barn dominium, Jasper. He's wanted to build a barn dominium since we were living in our RV before we got in our wreck.
Yeah. What's a barn dominium?
Okay. You know what a metal barn is? Like a big metal building, warehouse type building?
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine it with a giant garage door in it.
Yeah.
And then you can drive your RV inside. You can actually live in your RV inside, but most of them have small living areas off to one side of them, and like what we want to do is have like a bedroom, a bathroom, and a kitchen space, right? Kind of like a living space, so that if something happens to the rig again, we have some place to go back to. But also, it gets the rig out of the weather, and Tanya, tell him thanks for the massive she shed. There you go. Yes, that's Tanya.
Right.
We always required a 99-year lease to approve for a loan. Yes. If you, I would think so. The deal is metal buildings are a whole lot less expensive than sticks to build, and building an RV shed is expensive. Of course, we're having issues. We can't get anybody to build an RV. All we want is an RV carport. We can't find any. We've been trying for over 2 years, and we get contractors, and they give us a price, and they tell us they can do, and then they call us back and say, we're too busy, we can't do this. And it's like, okay. So it's been kind of a pain. Okay. But I have a friend in Michigan. His has giant garage doors on both ends. And so he can drive in one side and out the other side. Nice. They were finishing it up. He actually restores lighthouses, and he's an engineer. Restores lighthouses and retired. And so they're building this big barndominium up on near one of the lakes, because there's a bunch of lighthouses up there, and he had property, and that way they can live in their RV. They have a living space, but he can also put all of his machine equipment, because he actually machines fancy bolts that are no longer available to restore these lighthouses. So there's, major amounts of things. 10 by 20, 20 by 40 metal container from trains. Oh, yeah, the shipping containers. Yes, we actually have a friend who bought one of those shipping containers to use as a shed workshop area on his property.
No.
In the 70s, I had a little camper van that was called a Mary Myler. That was the conversion company that made it into a camping van. It was a Dodge 300 van.
Oh,
And it had a top on it that it didn't pop up. It just stayed up, but you could sleep over the cab. And oh man, I love that thing. I drove it all over with my little portable typewriter.
You were a journalist?
Yeah.
Well, I was a journalist all that time, but I had a photographer, so I would just drive around Texas and New Mexico and hang out, and back in the day, I was driving a news unit. I was driving a news unit for work, so I didn't really have to drive the van and spend money on gas for my regular daily activities, which was good.
Yes.
Anyway.
They make those now. They're called Class Bs.
I think that is what the deal is. It's a different thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me, Jasper.
They actually
I love that.
They actually have like chemical toilets in them, and little sinks, and little tiny refrigerators, and
it had a sink and refrigerator in it. It did have a chemical toilet when I went to buy it, but I didn't want it, so I had them take that out.
Take it out.
A little green bucket. I had a green bucket I took with me.
Green buckets probably work better than chemical toilets.
Exactly. And you can
Jean.
empty them so much more auspiciously.
Yes, that's true.
Jean.
Hi, Jean.
Have you had a good Saturday, Jean?
say that was me doesn't help. Raise your hand if you're the one talking. Oh, it was Barbara.
I'm the one with the camper van.
Yes. Now I will
Sorry.
tell you.
That's right.
Jeff had a Ford Econoline when we first got married. That it was it had a bed in the back. It had a frame that held the cooler. It had under the bed, when you opened the two back doors, because it had barn doors on the very back of it. It was under the bed, had a place where the cook stove slid in, and we camped in that a lot. Jeff had camped in it long before he had me, and then we camped in it quite a bit before we bought a school bus to redo. And
you did?
Oh yeah, we had a schoolie. We had it
that's
for
Tanya
years.
talking. Jasper.
That's Tanya talking. Yes, we had a schoolie. It's probably somewhere in Wyoming in some hunting piece of property, because it died a very slow and very painful death all the way from Florida to Wyoming on our trip to Alaska when Brandon was 4. It was sad, slow and painful. It died a little every day.
What state are you in? Where's Portola?
She's in New Mexico.
Oh, okay. New Mexico for lunch. Okay, cool. Cool.
And she just got home. Jasper, Jeff and I have we actually have a Tiffin RV. It's 30. It's not camping. We don't camp.
No, it's a mansion on wheels.
Yes, it is a mansion on wheels. But Barbara, ours is the small one.
Yours is a small one. Well,
yeah. Ours is the stepchild in most cases of when it comes to a Tiffin, ours is a stepchild.
Susan, Jasper, I can't sleep on the ground anymore, and pitching a tent is hard. I just turned 80 this year, and so camping, I think, might be a thing of the past, treasured, but this is Barbara talking. I think the camper van, or the 8 vans that you were talking about, I think I could function in one. The Class Bs.
Class B. Class B is they're a little bit bigger than an actual soccer mom van.
Yeah, that'd be all right. I think I need my creature comforts. I might even need a toilet at this point, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, because I have to get up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, well, the green bucket was fine for that.
Yeah, that I suppose the green bucket would be fine.
But then, I had this in the 70s. So what? I was 35 years old. It's a lot more adaptable.
You can do the RV, yeah. Now we have, big fancy, but we were planning to live in it. That was really
the dream.
That was the thing. We were going to live in our RV. We had been living in it for about 7 months when things kind of went to pot. So,
well, we're almost getting to the change point.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness. I have to do another thing. All right.
I can't believe this 3 hours has gone by so fast.
The whole day has gone by fast, and I don't hurt as bad today as I did yesterday.
I don't
Well,
either.
that's good.
Yeah. So,
That's good.
Lisa, how many people do we have in here?
22.
Okay, we're going to do 1 to 75 again. And I have another happy birthday embossing folder. Yay! Happy birthday embossing folder. So let me type in.
You know, I'm not putting numbers in because I won the embossing folder last year, and I don't need two happy.
You have a happy
I have
birthday
a happy
embossing?
birthday.
Aha. Okay.
Now, don't ask me if I've used it, Tanya.
Okay, I won't. Okay. I need you to put in a number between 1 and 75.
Yeah, Florida alligators, camping around Florida alligators, not.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't mind the alligators near as much as the snakes. Okay.
Yes, Jasper, my idea the same.
I like Jasper's idea of a tiny home. One for a bedroom, one for a kitchen,
me, one for Linda, one for my studio, one for her studio.
Yeah.
Well, here's the reason we will never be without a sticks and bricks again is because you get in a wreck when you live in your RV and suddenly on the side of I-10 you are homeless.
I could do 2.
Oh, yeah. That would be sad.
I mean, we were completely homeless.
A home in the book.
On this, and you know, if you've sold a good deal, we still don't own a couch. If you sold most of your furniture and you know, we had very low. Now we had kept our bed and mattress because they were almost brand new, and our bedroom furniture and things like that. So. One for the art studio. Yep. Okay. Now I've got a few numbers in there, but everybody put in numbers.
Oh, hello.
Gotta keep putting in numbers. We got a few minutes.
Settle down. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Few more numbers.
I have a thing I want to do.
A fifth wheel would be nice, Jasper. This is Barbara talking. Except for the fact that you have to haul it, and in California that means hauling it up mountain passes.
Barbara, that is why we want a new rig. This is Tanya talking, and we want a new, what we call a Super C, which is a big old truck.
Big old truck to pull a fifth wheel.
No, it doesn't pull. It's actually built into it. It's like a Class C, which looks like a truck with a camper on it. You know,
like a semi.
Yeah, but this is the truck part of this it's a camper that's built on a semi. Mm-hmm. How does it work for being a minimalist artist? Well, you know, I'm not really minimalist, but I do. I have pared down what I take with me because I do a little bit of art every day. I make a postcard every. I'll tell you what. We're gonna have to switch deals here in a minute, so I need to do this drawing. STOP. Okay. And then I will, I have to go switch out. So let me do the drawing. Where's my thing? Random number generate 175, 57. So can somebody help me look for 57?
Sure. Let's find
Jasper is 55.
Well, there you go. That could be close.
No, Jasper's 55. So I think it's Jasper.
Could it be so? I see your start. So. I see 40, 75, 33, 13. I don't see a Jasper number. Where is it?
Above Jean Peters, right above Jamie, then Jean Peter is 33. I'm pretty sure it's Jasper's. Does anybody else?
Jasper's 55. What was the number?
Okay. 57.
I'd say so. I think Jasper's
Okay.
got it.
Okay, Susan, just a minute. I'm going to put in my email address. And I need you to send me your address. Just a minute. I'll put in my email address. But I need you to email me. Boop, boop. Okay. Where's my thing?
Yay, Jasper.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's my email address. I need you to send me your address at that email address. And then I'm going to go, Lisa, because I got to go set up stuff. But also, Jasper, I will go get one of my books that I make with my postcards to show you one of the things I do whenever we're on a trip. So, guys, I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, we'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, Lisa's muted.
We'll
so,
hop right over.
Yep. And it'll take me just a...
She's out.
Sorry, we were doing doggy stuff.
That's okay. Life is going on.
Yep. It is.
It has a habit of doing that.
I'm making a paper clip.
I love making these hidden paper clips. I think I'm a little bit addicted to it.
Well, I don't know how mine is not. I don't know that it's necessarily hidden. I mean, I guess if I do something over here, it will be hidden. But it is one where it slides on, you know.
Yeah.
I have made them where they were completely hidden, but
okay. Okay. And these need to be.
maybe I just need to put the lace on this side.
These need to be 6 inches.
Why not? We'll make it pretty from both sides.
To make it
That
6
doesn't
1/4.
hurt anything to do that. Oops, I didn't put my little ruler back. Oh my God. Uh-oh.
Don't you hate that?
Were you, Jasper, were you the #1 winner or the #2 winner? The #1 winner
She was the
wins
#1.
a happy birthday embossing folder.
Lisa, did I show you these little pockets that I got? Little plastic
Let me make
sticky
you
pockets when we were doing those fodder books.
Oh,
I haven't put them in the books yet, but these are sticky and they're clear. So I'm going to add some of these to some of my fodder pages where things get lost.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So you get like 30 of these from Amazon, of course. Okay, now where's my little ruler? Okay. It fell down. That's why I couldn't find it. It fell down. Okay, I'm here.
She's here.
Okay. 6
I
1/4.
have like a million of these little flowers I made on. Oh, you can't see?
No, show me.
these flowers that I made I made a video, I think, where I made a bunch of these flowers. And I've got a bunch of them. I haven't done anything with them. I need to do something with them, but I was thinking about putting one on here.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
This one's like the smallest one, so I think it'll work.
Well, I have enjoyed myself a lot this afternoon, so this was fun. Thank you.
I'm glad. I've enjoyed it too. I'm glad you could do it.
Me too.
I enjoy streaming just with Tanya, but when it's long like this, it's fun to add, add a third person into the mix.
Sure is.
It gets harder for me when there's more than 3. We did that, we've done that in the past a few times, but that's just so much harder for my brain.
That, yeah. I think 3 is fine. And I don't mind being in the background either. Oh, well, don't go away. I mean, thank you. It was good to see you too, Andrea, but don't go away. We're going to flip back over to Tanya's. We're getting on the bus.
Yeah. One more time.
One more time, and then we did it? Wow. Well, I'll finish my little hidden paper clips by then.
It was lovely to see you too, Jamie, and to have you on with us yesterday and today.
Yeah, it was really good to see you today, Jamie. That was wonderful. All right.
Sophia says, I think it can be hard to know who is talking when you have more than 3. When you're on a Zoom call or whatever, whoever's talking lights up, but not with streaming. Yeah. And, I like to keep up with when somebody's doing something fun to put it up. And, Tanya knows to just say, hey, make me big, but not everybody's willing to do that. And so I feel like I'm having to watch to see when I can, when would be a good time to put somebody else up.
Yeah, well, that takes away from just playing a little bit.
We're leaving. Well, we've got 5 more minutes. She'll start her stream at 5 o'clock. We'll be moving over there. We're just keeping y'all busy until then. So here's my little
Jasper, do you need her? Do you need her site? Can one of the mods put Tanya's?
You've been over to Tanya's, haven't you, Jasper? Yeah, that would be good if someone's talking to make them big. The problem is we talk over each other, and it would be like doing this.
Like on Zoom where it flips back and forth for the speaker.
And
that drives you crazy.
And I wouldn't get to do any art because all I'd be doing is trying to catch up whoever was talking. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Jamie put her link in.
Oh, thanks, Jamie.
Sorry, but I guess you get my
I think that's funny. I think one thing I discovered today is that I met Tanya when she was doing instructional videos, Zoom videos with Jerry Bellini. So that's cool because I didn't know where I'd met Tanya. I knew where I'd met you.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you met Tanya, but
I'm not sure where I met Tanya either. It was in somebody else's you know, we were both in somebody else's stream, and we said, you know, one of us said, well, if you want to do that, I'll stream with you and we'll do it. But I don't even remember what it was. And we had so much fun, we decided to just make it a regular thing.
You're welcome, Janice. I'm glad you've been here.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
where
Jasper's
we
new
either,
to
Jamie.
Tanya. I see.
Well, we're glad we did.
I see Jasper's over in the aren't you in the, don't I see you in the Janet M. Young? Oh, anybody who's doing the scavenger hunt, you have got to see Miss Lena's introduction to the scavenger hunt, because she has done a little story about Janet Young. It's so hysterical.
Oh, I need to go watch that.
She is so funny. Anyway.
Okay,
all right.
Find a place to put this. Andrea says, Jamie, I remember the first time I saw you. It was my first New York Streamathon. You made me laugh so hard I just about died. Kathleen says, I don't
Andrea,
have
I remember
because I know all of your voices. Yeah.
I remember where I met you. I had seen your name in streams, and then I saw you on Kitten Academy.
Who is that?
Andrea.
Andrea?
Yeah. Well, that's where I really started noticing Andrea, was on Kitten Academy. She and Holly Dalton and I all ended up on a live chat. Oh, Andrea, you were at the first time she saw Jamie, was the first New Year's Streamathon?
Which one?
Was that the Heather and Cece one?
No, I don't think so. I think that was the first one of the one that's going on this year. Muriel and Raoul did it, but before that,
yeah,
I think it was the first one of those is what she's talking about.
They did good too. Okay, now I start inking everything I just stamped. I have to ink it.
My little
stamp. Oh, sweetie, that's lovely. Look at that. Now, is that a little paper clip thingy?
Yeah, and you can still see that I just put the paper clip on the outside and decorated over it.
Isn't that nice? That is lovely.
First time I made them, I didn't put
Kelly's
stuff on the outside very good, and that was difficult. Hi, Kel. Welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, in about 2 minutes, we're going to have to trot over to Tanya's. Well, not unfortunately.
So trot on over. Hop over to Tanya's in 2 minutes.
You'll just have to go somewhere else, is all I'm saying. But, Tanya's
But we're glad to see you.
I guess she's probably about ready.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see y'all. Thanks for showing up, everybody. I had fun showing off all my goodies. See you in a minute after a hop or two. We need the exercise anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just saw something I'm going to have to deal with. So I'm going to go ahead and get in the stream now. And everybody run over to Tanya's. She'll be there in just a minute.
Love everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Moving. All right.